we're kicking into our own little show, another side of Jonathan Frost. Yeah, off the hook,
right?
off the record. You know,
Off the record.
The personal development that we kind of talked about. NugaCon was a huge hit. Michael Burt, Tim Story, Rocky Garza was incredible. And dude, it got me thinking about what I'm providing the marketplace. You and I sat down at breakfast, enjoyed a incredible breakfast at the Bluegrass Cafe down there in Chattanooga.
Oh, yeah.
And we kind of started bouncing back and forth about the stuff that nobody sees, man. And it's kind of what Rocky talks about with this inward thinking and this value that we have for ourselves. And I know that we become pretty good friends here over the course of the last few months. And I think that when we're promoting ourselves online, we want people to see our best self. You know, we want to show our content wants to show, you know, like the Moz, man. I rode the Moz with you. It's super dope, dude.
Yeah,
but there's so much more to Jonathan Frost that I know that maybe the general public doesn't. And it's just like, dude, you know, the dad, I met your wife and I met your kids. And it's just like this incredible family and this incredible culture that you've created at your office, like Meg and Lauren, and like just such great people that care about your success. And the woman that's worked the desk for you for 6 or 7 years,
Julie,
she's incredible, dude.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's more of what I see coming from you, is just this guy that's helping bring everybody up. And sometimes, and we talked about this too, for a long time, I just represented myself online as the funny song guy. Like, dude, if you can just be this funny song guy, you can be friends with everybody. You don't have to step on anybody's toes. You don't have to tell anybody how you really feel. You can just like show up, be hilarious, and you can probably get on all the events. And that worked for a while. And that's how we kind of met at the 10X2 event. But there's so much more. And when it comes to business, and like we talked about time management and finances and family life and marriage, and like that stuff starts to pile up when you don't talk about it.
Right. It does. And I think that you don't see a lot of people talking about that stuff. I mean, the ones that you're actually following, you know, GC, you get to see his family life. You know, I've been fortunate enough working with the people that I've worked with over the last year and a half, being able to kind of see these people that I have been following in a different light, like hanging out with Tim Story, hanging out with Michael Burt, you know, hanging out with those that you just kind of see through the camera, and then actually seeing what are they actually like? What do they actually talk about when the camera's not on? And what are they concerned with? And I think that's kind of part of this podcast, I guess. I mean, we're just kind of putting this together. If you even call this a podcast, right? Like, I mean, we were talking about being off the hook, right? Like, let's kind of get off the mainstream offers coming at you, sales coming at you. You know, who are we? What are we trying to really accomplish? What are our businesses really doing? And what are we really struggling with? Right? Like, absolutely. I mean, is that kind of the premise of what
that's what I'm going for. And with
kind of like what we're talking about here.
That's kind of what happened to me in the space. Was I was always just the funny, upbeat guy, and with those highs and the 10Xs and the Gary V events, and with that comes the lows that no one sees, and the tears and the depressions and the how am I going to pay the rent this month? And I never talked about it because I always thought, oh, well, you know, you're setting a bad example if you tell everybody to not give up and then kind of show this other side of you. But that's the real side. You know,
it's the reality of entrepreneurship and trying to start a business. And, you know, I mean, when you are working for somebody else, you've got a regular paycheck. Like, as long as you show up and you do the minimum amount and you cross all the T's and dot all the I's it's 5 o'clock, then you leave, you've got a guaranteed income and you
Right.
live off of that. And that's all there is to it. But what's different when you start to own your own business, when you're starting, like, that's not guaranteed. Like, I got to go find it.
Yeah.
And, I was even talking with you last night. Like, you've got to start doing things differently. There's got to be, if whatever is not working right now, there's got to be something else that does work. Like,
Right.
what is that? And I
Right.
think that's what us as entrepreneurs, it's hard to be tough on ourselves all the time, but you kind of have to. You have to kick your own ass sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of times. I mean, because I haven't even collected any money today, right? Like, I haven't. I've got
Mm.
a large payroll. I've got rent. I've got bills that got to be paid. I didn't have any money coming in the door today.
Mm.
You know what? What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about, like, how am I going to get to come in the door tomorrow? Or what did I not do today that I should have done that could have gotten money to come in the door? Right?
Right. And that's kind of what we were talking about last night. What people am I getting around? What am I putting out online? Who am I becoming that's going to get me to the next level? Because
Hmm.
it's a it's a journey. I thought that, oh man, if I can just become homies with Gary Vee, like, dude, I'll make it. And it's like, that's just one contact. Getting in
Yeah.
with the Cardones. They're great people and they help me so much and they're always there for me, but we want to see you go do something. What are you going to go
Yeah.
do? What's next?
Right. And the only way to do something that I'm, Pat, where I am is, just continuing to get to know people and meet people and
Right.
do different actions, and systematically, like, I know that, like, I'm the goal writing guy or whatever, but, like, it really helps you understand the journey. It really does.
Right.
It's crazy magic.
Right.
But, like, I've been working with one of the guy that I've been mentoring, Tony Oliver. What I've seen completely different about him here lately is, like, we finally got him into a system of writing down all the people that he meets, like, just writing them down, like, literally just recording it with their phone number. And now he intentionally calls one of those people each day to then meet another person.
Hmm.
And what that he's in a very similar situation that we've all been in before, like, wondering, where is the next dollar going to come from? How am I going to make that note payment tomorrow? How am I going to make my rent payment tomorrow? um, Instead of asking, how am I going to do that, I like to say, like, what action is going to get me there?
Right.
What action has gotten me a dollar before? I just need to increase the frequency of that action. That's
Right.
it. So, if for him, talking to people, he just didn't have a systematic way of being able to talk to people, you know? And that's where we kind of get caught in our own thoughts, right? Like,
Yeah.
you start to get depressed.
It is.
Like, this isn't
It's hard.
working.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
not it's not working. And yeah, you're right. It's not working. So do something different. But
Right.
what do I do differently? In any business, the one thing that I know works is when I start to meet more people.
Mm.
Things start to happen when I meet more people, when I intentionally reach out to them. How can I help you in your business today? Like, today, I feel like I'm helping you and helping me by being on this podcast, right?
Right.
Like, I could do a lot of other things. I could go to, my daughter has a volleyball game right now, but I've decided, you know what? This is important. This is important to get this started, because what else have I done today that has got me another dollar or created another connection? the
Right.
the people that I've surrounded myself with in business is what makes the difference, not
Right.
the paycheck that I've gotten. The
And
paycheck comes from people.
that's
Like,
spot on. And I think that's part of the reason why I knew a few years ago I had to start making sacrifices to get around certain types of people if I even wanted to do a business. Because
right.
at that time, I was just singing songs in the corner of the bar. I was pretty much just a bar employee. Like you
Yeah.
said, as long as I show up from 9 to 1, Tuesday through Sunday, like I got paid. It didn't even
You were
matter if
going to get paid. Right.
right. But now it's like, what service am I providing to entrepreneurs? And I've switched to this kind of video podcast service because I'm able to kind of draw out more emotions and real talk behind just sales. Some of them we got the green screen, we're talking real estate. Some of them we're doing tech and stuff like that. But what I've noticed with my own show, because I want to lead by example, it's been way more based on personal development and building relationships, bringing in
Yeah.
high level coaches and interviewing them and talking about how they got started and how they got to the next level. And what that does is it gives me a good mindset for the day to now attack these goals that I started writing down my goals just because I freaking watch you on your Instagram so much now. And I'm like,
man, it works.
I'm halfway there with a lot of it. I'm halfway there on some of them, but that's not complete. How am I going to complete that? How am I going to make that fill in that circle? Because it's like, I'm here, but it's not all the way around. And so,
yeah.
I think we can get caught too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I got this part, but it's not checked off.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not, writing down the goals, it's not really, you want them to be something that you can accomplish, but it's more of, I don't even really know how to describe it. It's, and I struggle with it because like, I'm like, what am I doing? Like this is bullshit.
Well, and there's difference between goals and a to-do list too.
Well, there is, but I think that they're both extremely important. I mean,
right. They kind of go hand in hand.
GC calls it your target list. I mean, I call it my daily target list. I'm creating it, prioritizing it, executing it, and creating another list at the same time. But the goals really, it's this, I think we have to distract ourselves when it's tough, when you have no idea where your next dollar is coming from. You have to focus on the actions that got you that last dollar. So whatever that was, you just need to do more of it. I feel like a broken record sometimes when I say that.
I like it though.
I know that yesterday I collected $8,000 and I wrote down my goals. Today I didn't, but I still wrote down my goals. Like, what other things am I doing that help me to collect those dollars? How can I do those more often? How can I stay focused on those? Because when you stop doing those things, when you stop doing those actions, and I think about like even what's another new contact that I made today? I haven't made any other new contacts today. I really haven't, honestly. So I mean, even as we're doing this right now, I'm thinking, oh, who else could I have talked to?
Right.
Now I got somebody on my accountability show. That was pretty cool. Like, I've got somebody to coach live now on that accountability show.
That's cool.
Is that going to turn into a client? I don't know, but it I guess now that I'm thinking about it, that is a new contact. So that's good.
Right.
But it didn't put money in my pocket, right?
Right.
But I think if we stick with the idea that if we met a new person, that is going to eventually lead to that money, to that dollar.
Right. And what are we going to provide? Today. Yeah. And what are we going to provide to that person today, tomorrow, and long term? That's okay. What are we going to provide to that person that's going to make them, that's going to bring them, and I know it's cliche, but bring them value or bring them something that can help them. Right. That's what I was saying.
And that's what I think that you got to start saying. Me too. I need to do this as well. Cut the crap of like bringing value. I can help you.
Exactly.
Like that's what Hank was talking about at NugaCon. Like, I can really help you.
Yep.
And I can help you without you paying me.
Right.
And I mean, without you paying me, right? That's what I was trying to say, right?
Well, like, yeah, I mean, with this, like, we're going to produce this. Yeah, we're going to produce this, cut it up. We're going to put out clips of this. It's going to be on your page. It's going to be something a little bit different. People are going to be like, oh, okay, well, he's digging a little deeper with this whole thing. Maybe I'm going to go check it out. Though making an impact on someone to get better is going to automatically draw them into more of getting to know Pat or getting to know Jonathan.
And I think people need to realize that's your value. That's Pat's value is I know, and I don't really like it, but I know talking to you, Pat, you're going to make me even talk about maybe more things than what I normally would have talked about, kind of reach me on this other person level because you do know more about those things. Not that I'm really trying to hide it, but it's like something inside of you, right? Like you just don't want to, you don't really want to go there, right?
Right.
Like it's a little uncomfortable and it's like something else to do. Like I'm just being straight up with you. Like when you're asking me to do this, I'm like it's something else to do. Like I've got enough things to do.
Yeah,
But
you do.
But you know what? Like I'm seeing that the more real that I can be, the more that people can kind of see another side. Like I just don't want to help you do your taxes. I really don't give a shit about your taxes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like to a certain extent, like I would rather help you, Pat, reach your goal of whatever your money amount per month is than anything. Like whatever introduction it was, whatever system you needed. And I'm not even trying to sell you a system, but I'm telling you that you got to have a system to build this thing.
Right.
It's a systematic approach. It is not complicated.
And
It's
that's
just a
with
matter
anything
of
in life, with health or
right,
fitness or
anything.
relationships.
Right. And it's not even just you. I'm saying even for my own, like I've got a goal of $5,000 a day that I'm trying to collect.
Right.
Like that's of new business. I need to collect $12,000 a day for my business to run efficiently from a cash flow perspective.
Mm,
That's what I've got to have,
right.
you know? And so I got to a point to where I was like really, really concerned with it all the time. But I was thinking about why I didn't have the money rather than what would help me get the money,
Right.
you know?
Growing into the producer that's gonna have that come to him, or that's gonna
Well, yeah,
produce something that's gonna draw the people that you can serve.
that too. But I'm just saying, just personally, it's crazy. The less I think about it, the more it actually happens.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you
And
mean.
so like that's where, you know, and I think one thing that people are missing sometimes is that just not even asking.
Right.
Like you're not even asking for somebody to act, you
Right.
know? And
And I think
I'm not saying you,
no,
Pat.
no, I
I'm
mean in
saying
general.
in general. I mean, today I had a guy on the phone. He hasn't run the card yet, but like I finally was like, yeah, dude, I'll do that for $750. Like that's all I had to do was ask.
Right.
Like, and two, I think us in the service business, most people don't understand what we do. They don't know what JD Frost and Company does. They might think, oh, CPA firm, or they do taxes. I mean, they don't realize that if I consulted with you for 6 weeks about your business and really talked to you about what you are doing and you were struggling with generating revenue, I could literally provide you a way to start to generate revenue. Now, it's
Mm.
not going to happen. It's not going to happen in 6 weeks. It's
No.
not going to happen in probably 6 months. It'll probably take a year, but I can literally tell you how to do it because I've done it with Tony Oliver, who literally started from zero. And I actually kind of surprised myself, to be honest with you.
I love
But
Tony too, by the way. He's a
yeah, he's
great
awesome.
guy.
But I
He
did
is.
that myself too in my own business because I started from zero too. What did I
Right.
start doing? Meeting people,
Right. Putting
meeting
yourself
people
out there.
and being clear about how I can help them.
Right.
You know, I think that's one thing that hey, I'm all talented. Like, I know how to do this. I know how to do that. Like, but tell me why I need this. Tell me
Right.
how it's really going to help me, you know, until you actually told me like, dude, we're going to call this off the hook. We're going to do something that's different. I'm going to pull out of you another whole another whole thing that people don't really see, and I'm going to blast it out there. One thing that is your advantage, Pat, is that you attract people. Like, people, when they see your crazy ass checkerboard thing back there, like they're gonna click on it, man.
Right.
They're gonna click on it. They're gonna be like, what the hell is Pat up to today? And who
Right.
is he talking to? I'm gonna watch this for a minute. Like, that's valuable that you're attracting that much attention.
Right. Right. And I think that I do have a crazy dynamic about me, because I ask for things that, I mean, any normal person wouldn't ask for, like the Gary Vee thing. I'm like, listen, man, I will just drag my gear down to the San Diego harbor if you let me play your book release for free.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he's like, awesome, dude. We start at 3:30, probably be there by 2. I'm like,
But
dude,
you know,
I'm
yeah.
already here.
And
I'm in
awesome.
the lobby.
Yeah. And that's awesome. But I mean, what I think you really help people with is those that don't want to get on camera,
Right.
that are like, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to do this. I think your big selling point is you help people be comfortable talking on camera. Like,
Right.
if you can set all this up, I literally only had to pop open the phone, click the link, jump on here, the ability to be able to do that. And then I'm going to get to see, and I know you're going to do a good job at it, I'm going to get to see the content that you create out of this. I'm going to get to see the 30-second, the 40-second clips.
Right.
Is this going to go to my YouTube channel? Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're going to put this on my YouTube channel. It's going to help me get subscribers. Like, that's valuable.
Right.
Right. Like,
yeah.
But
and I think it's
who are you
also
hitting?
Right.
Who are you hitting? Who are you talking to that isn't familiar with this? Like, I think about Charles Rashid, right?
I just called him last night.
Dude, I would be like, that guy needs to be on my show. And sorry, 2 things. That guy needs to be on my show. And that's the value. That's how you help him. And then after that, you make it to where it is impossible to say no to it.
Right.
And here's the thing. Like, I think you got to say, I don't know how much this is. I don't even know. I don't know this. This is what I talked to Tony about. When you are starting out as an entrepreneur, you got to make some sacrifices.
Right.
I'm not saying that you got to take every single piece of work, but you are trying to get money in the door. I started selling VIP tickets to NugaCon this week, NugaCon 2021,
I saw
for $97.
I saw that.
Like,
that's beautiful.
$97. Like, how do you say no to that? Like, I know people who would not click on it, but if you're thinking about coming, this is the time to buy a ticket.
Oh yeah, that's
like,
almost as cheap as a full breakfast at the Bluegrass Cafe.
Exactly. I mean, it's like, are you crazy? Like, you need to buy this right now. You need to get the $97 ticket. But what I'm trying to say is, like, when you're starting out, the pricing that you put out there, like, create demand for yourself. Put the pricing low to where you fill up your whole day, man.
Right.
Like, fill up the whole day with podcasts. How many can you do? You got 8 hours, 30 minutes. You could do 16 a day. If you had 16 people paying you, I mean, hell, even if it was, I don't know, $250 a month.
Right. Yeah. I could do that. And
how much money is that?
It's a lot, especially if it was
today.
Different packages. I record this and I post the audio, and that's what you get. No snippets or whatever,
Right.
I mean,
yeah. Like, what are the like, what if you just did just the video and you didn't, it's like raw, like, that's it. Boom. That's all I need. Awesome. $100 a month for that.
Right. Yeah.
Get money in the door. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's recurring revenue. Okay, well, now if I do the clips and all that kind of stuff, it's this. Having those different levels or whatever. I'm just using it as an example. I think that we price ourselves out of getting business, out of generating revenue. We price ourselves out of it. Like, make me a cool rap song, dude, for $250, and I'll pay you right now. It might be worth that more in the future, but it isn't worth that now because you've got all the time in the world and I've got plenty of money.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
Like,
Totally.
that's where, and I do this as well. Like, it happens to me sometimes. When I first started out, like, I would just take on whatever work I could and create enough demand to when then I could charge what I really believe it's worth,
Right.
because it's really not worth that. It's not, until you prove it,
Right.
until you create the demand. And that's what
Absolutely.
I think we kind of kill ourselves, because all we got is time right now. We got plenty
Right.
of time, you know?
So what are
I
we
don't have
doing
any
with the
money.
time? Right. Yeah.
Right. Like, I need my time to generate revenue, even though that hour isn't generating as much revenue as I want it to. At least it's generating something, because I can't get that hour back, you
Can't get
know?
time back. You can always make more
No.
money, but you can't get your time back. And
Right.
that's a valuable lesson for everyone out there is, what are you spending your time doing? Who are you spending your time developing relationships with? That's something that kind of I struggled with. Was I'd get in with certain people, but then I'd kind of fill some of that time with the gray space and maybe relationships that didn't help me grow as much. And you
Well,
pay for that time one way or
and who
another.
are yeah, and who are the type of people that would need this service, that need accounting services? Like, I found out, like, I don't like I don't need to work with a business that has a controller and like 6 accountants on staff. That's not that's not who we work with. We
Right.
work with entrepreneurs. We work with small business owners that don't know what the hell's that's going on. They want to get into a system where they know they're going to be cared for and they're going to be taken care of, and they've got a team of 30 people behind them that is going
Right.
to handle their back office. That's the kind of people I need to be finding. I don't need to
Yeah.
spend
Like,
time with other people.
I was talking to Cody Kearns at the event, and he just posted something this morning, like their best month or something from 2019. And they did like $300,000 in a month or something.
Right.
Like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Those are the kinds of guys you're rolling with that are using your services, that are speaking at your events. It's like, if that's not worth $97 to get around to increase the capacity of who you're dealing with, I mean, you're out of your mind.
Right. And another way to look at it, and this, you break this stuff all the way down, like salespeople break it down by number of sales calls that they make and all that kind of stuff. But one thing that I think about all the time is how much revenue I'm bringing in, and I divide it by how many clients I have. So I know that each different client that I've established a relationship with is that much revenue. So how many people do I need to meet in order to generate that many clients? It's
Hmm.
just an important number for you to know, so that every new contact you're coming into contact with, every new person that you're meeting equals a certain amount of money. And not that you have to trick your brain, right? Like, you got to trick your brain that, like, yes, I did earn something today. I did
Right.
something today. That's what my daily ledger is about. I did something today that helped me reach my goals, no matter what. So I don't feel like a failure, and I don't get inside and I'm like, oh man, I didn't make any money today. I
Right.
did make money today. I talked to you, right? Like,
Hmm.
I did this. I talked to this client. I was able to establish with my bookkeeping manager exactly what roles and responsibilities he has. You know, we've got to stay focused on these actions that have worked for us in the past and
Right.
continue to do those over and over again, so we don't get distracted,
Absolutely.
distracted by our own thoughts.
Absolutely. And being the kind of, especially ADD culture that we live in, I think Rocky talked about that too. And maybe we'll bring him on as a guest, because he's very good
Oh, you
at,
totally need to have him on.
at analyzing these kinds of things we're talking about. And that's just this ADD culture. How do we use the hyper energy that's going through our minds to kind of hyper focus on where we need to
Mhm.
go, what we need to develop, what we're bringing in, what's going out. And I think that's important too, is to kind of slow it down a little bit and to start analyzing. And it comes with the time, analyzing each hour. What am I doing in each hour of the day that's going to build me new relationships, build me a new client, or get me out in front of some new people. Like, I thought that NugaCon event was a phenomenal contact builder just for myself. I mean,
Well,
from
any of these
Grant to
events
Rock.
that even
It's
any of
great.
these events that you go to are that way. But what I think is going to be cool about NugaCon moving forward is that it's going to stay pretty small. Like it's going to be small. It's going to
It's
be that
intimate.
place. It's more intimate. It's more to. Thanks for saying intimate. I appreciate that.
It
The
is.
but it's where you're going to meet somebody that's going to be able to help you move forward in your business. That those are the kind of connections that you're going to make. And it's not about being annoying with the people after you meet them or anything like that. It's just simply following up with them saying, this is how I could help you. This is what I could
Right.
do for you. And
Right.
then showing them that, like giving them the opportunity, giving them a taste, you know?
Right.
Um, and that's what, like when you go to 10X, I think 10X is fantastic. I'm looking forward to GrowthCon this year, but there's only so many people that you can meet. I mean, that's huge, right?
I was
Like,
about to
but
say it's so huge.
something like a NugaCon or these smaller boot camps that you can go to, like I think about Burn the Ships, with
Yeah.
Monero and Judge Graham, like those where you have like 20 or 30 people that are there, like
Right.
you're really going to learn something from another business owner. You're going to take away something that you can use, you can apply like immediately.
Right.
Um, but at the end of the day, I think us as entrepreneurs, we just got to stop we got to get out of our heads.
Well,
And
yeah, and
that's
I
one
think
thing.
a good way to do that is to at least acknowledge it, talk about it, document it,
Yes.
and that's where I'm going with where my journey's going is for a long time. Like I said, I just sang my songs, and it was just like that was Pat. But it's like I've really started to dive into more of an MC, speaker, podcast producer type of personality because I know that not only does it serve me, but it serves the planet more because people
Yeah.
have messaged me from my page and been like, dude, that thing you posted the other night was super real. I didn't even think about it that way. And it's like, well, I've been thinking about it that way for a long time, but I was just afraid to say it.
Right. And so what do you do with that person who says that?
Right. You got to pull it out of them. Hey,
Well, but
let's hop
somebody
on
who
a call
comments on that,
twice a month. Right.
well, or like, hey, can I do this for you in your business?
Right.
Can I, would you be interested to be on my podcast?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, I think you start like offering that to people. I mean, the opportunities are endless. And those are the kind of people that you've already touched. You've already hit on that level. That's what Hank was talking about. You've already, I had a guy after NugaCon, like you would think after my speech, you would think that somebody would be like, oh my gosh, I don't want that guy to be my accountant. Right. But this guy came up and he was like, I want to hire you.
Yeah.
And he signed a proposal this week.
Wow. That's awesome.
Like, so it's, people get to see you on a whole nother level when they get to see really who you are, what you're struggling with. It just provides such a bigger impact for
Yeah.
people to get to know you on a social media level. I don't even really know how to describe it, Pat, but that's what I'm saying.
No,
Like,
I think
I think that
impact is the
that's
right word because like with what you're doing, you are a businessman and your business is focused on finances and handling people's money. And there's a level of trust there. And I think that
right.
when you can give people the man behind the jacket or the man behind the Maz, you know what I mean? All those things are great. They're great
Yeah.
indicators that you're operating at a high level, but like what really makes this guy tick? Same thing with the music. Like when I started really talking about these things that got me on those stages and people saw beyond the lights and started seeing into who I was, they were like, wow, I mean, there's so much more to offer.
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you what makes me tick. What makes me tick is being able to see somebody and uh, have somebody share with me something that they're really struggling with and help them get out of it. Like that's what really helped. That's what makes me tick. I was able to tell a client the other day, and this was revolving taxes, and I do care about taxes, but I care more about like fixing the problem that's going on inside your
right,
head.
then
That's
just their
what's
tax
holding you
return.
back.
Yeah, I
Right.
get it.
Like, but this guy, what was holding him back was he hadn't filed returns for years. And he was scared out of his mind. And I was able to say, look, this isn't a problem. We can fix it. I like to take complicated things to other people and make them simple.
Hmm.
And so any complicated situation that you have, what really makes me tick is figuring out the solution and talking through it and give you a plan to follow to get you out of it. And then if that plan doesn't work, it might not be the perfect plan at first. But once that we find out that that doesn't work, all right, here's the new plan. Like, I'm the guy that's going to get you and enjoys giving you a plan to follow.
Hmm.
Okay, now I know I need to walk down this road right here. Okay, when I get done to the end of that one, like, that didn't get me where I wanted to go, JD. Awesome. Let's go this way.
But it got
But
me
this time
closer. Right.
it could have gotten you a little closer.
Right.
It might not have,
Right.
but at least we moved. You stopped thinking about it. You stopped sulking about where you are. We actually moved and we worked towards something else. And that's what really makes me tick. And what's been cool is, and what I've learned, and I wish I knew this before, working with my team, I wasn't helping them reach their goals. I wasn't helping them see what I was seeing. I
You
wasn't
got to be the navigator.
exactly. And I enjoy doing this for clients, but what hit me is I've got to do this for my team first. If I can do this for my team, then I will start doing this for clients even more.
Right.
And so, now our team is having potluck dinners on Fridays at noon at our company. Like,
Well, and I
what, like,
said that too.
they,
Like the
they
culture at
feel
your
free
office is
enough to
awesome.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm telling you, it hasn't always been that way, but it's been like, until I went to 10x360 and saw how much our team really matters and how important it is to get them on the same page and how important it is to meet every day with them, which as solopreneurs, you don't have anybody to meet with, but man, the way you meet with yourself is your goals.
Right.
That's how you meet with yourself every day. That's your team meeting. Man, it completely changes the whole culture.
Yeah. And I sat in on
So
the meeting
powerful.
and it was cool. It was cool. You guys got the core values on the wall. You
Yeah, we
broke
finally got them
down.
on the wall.
You
Yeah.
were talking about the CRM. Somebody had some questions about the CRM. You guys were able to kind of figure that whole thing out for the person that had a question. I mean, the group is pretty tight knit, man. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. And
I was impressed.
we've been through a lot together. And I think some of the pain of that, obviously helps with it, but meeting together every day has completely changed our business. Just the fact that we're in one room together for 20, 30
Right.
minutes completely sets the tone for the day and has just inherently just helps the conversation because
Well,
people
it
are in there
elevates the
talking together.
camaraderie. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. And for what we are doing, what we're helping people with is, it's stressful. It's stressful for people. I mean,
It
it's
is.
confusing, it's stressful, it's frustrating. And so, I'm really good at helping people with those complicated situations. Sometimes people even think like that I'm a little too, what's the word I'm looking for? Too kind of nonchalant about it. But
Well,
it's because I deal with it every day.
that's what I
Like
was going to
this,
say.
it's not a big deal. But what's helped me through video and everything is understanding like this isn't it's not an easy situation for the other person. Like, I've got to really understand
Right.
this is difficult for them. And the videos kind of taught me how to like think from their perspective. Like, this isn't just, hey, do this, 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 and this. That's it. I fixed
Right.
you. No, like, you really didn't, because I really don't understand why. So I've got
Yeah.
to go a little bit deeper, and that's been a challenge. That's a challenge for me. Um,
And it's a
but
challenge for the
videos,
customer too.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, I dig it. But yeah, putting yourself out there in the videos and the transparency is awesome. I'm looking forward to chopping this up and showing people that you're just a hardworking dad and husband in your office trying to help people. And I think the key to what we talk today. Maybe that's the name of the episode, is how can we help you? How can
Yeah.
we help you structure your day as a business person, or as a dad, or as whatever, to maximize your output so that you can maximize what's coming in as a business owner? How can we maximize your message, give you the confidence to talk about all the stuff that you need to talk about to get yourself out there so that people do know who you are? Like we talk about Uncle G a lot, man, money follows attention. If you're not putting
Right.
yourself out there and getting that attention, how can you expect people to call if nobody knows who you are?
Well, yeah, and exactly, it's all about that as well. But the other piece of it that's really hit me here lately is just figuring out how to enjoy the journey of it, how to
Mm,
enjoy the day to day, how to enjoy money, how to enjoy the thought of money. Like, because when your head's not right about it, I mean, if you cannot be happy right now and you don't have anything, you will not be happy when you have money. And you hear
right.
lots of people talk about that, and you hear it said, and you're like, there's no way. But I'm a believer, man. Like, if I've figured out how to have fun with my day, enjoy the journey of it, when I'm in debt up to my eyeballs, and and have employees leaving, and partnerships breaking up and all that kind of stuff, if I figured out how to enjoy it, then I'll be able to when it's easy. But
Right.
I don't think it ever is easy.
No, it's
It's
not.
not.
It's
There
not. And
it's not. No matter who you see out there, they are struggling with something. Loneliness, whatever it is happening.
yeah,
And so I think one thing that I want to start to help more business owners with is really learning how to enjoy that journey, putting
right.
together their day to where they know that they can find fulfillment with it, you
Right.
know?
Yeah,
And if you're
absolutely, man.
not finding fulfillment with it, try something else. Do
Right.
something else, you know?
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. I love it, man. I love it. Well, you, sir, have a business to run. So hop on over there and do
Well,
what you do.
I'm
And
probably gonna head to my daughter's volleyball match. To be honest with you,
there you go.
yeah, I'm probably gonna head to that today. Um,
Might be some
but
parents
no,
there that need their taxes done.
hey, they might exactly. But thanks for having me on this podcast. I mean, we
Yeah,
calling this a show or a podcast, or
it's a
what are we?
podcast
Is this
slash
gonna be a
show.
regular thing?
I think so, man. Let's do it. We talked about doing it every couple of weeks and
Yeah,
chopping up the content and sending people back to your YouTube. I think it's a good way for people to see, a different side. Like I said, I thought that breakfast conversation we had about, like what you said, I mean, we've both had partnerships, crumble, friends disappear, things that are great, things aren't so great. And I think that talking about that and acknowledging what went on in those situations is a great way to grow, because it doesn't get talked about enough in the online space.
yeah, yeah,
And so
exactly.
if we're showing people that we're growing and we're willing to talk about it, then they're going to be able to talk about it with themselves. They're going to be able to communicate that with us as clients. We're going to be able to serve people better. And, like you said, we strengthen our impact. And that's the name of the game. The more people we can impact, the more confidence we can bring out of people, the more successful we're going to be, and the more successful people are going to be that are around us. So I think it's a
Yeah,
beautiful thing.
yeah. No, that's awesome. I'm glad to be a part of it.
I appreciate the support, man. I really
Of
do.
course. Yeah.
And that's the other thing is that, man, I mean, when you were going through some hard times, you hired me to do a song or whatever, like, dude, I needed it so bad.
Yeah.
And people don't see that side of it. Like, people that reach out and support another entrepreneur, like that could be the grocery money that they need. I remember taking a grocery picture and sending it to you and be like, dude, we can eat
Yeah.
this week.
I remember you doing that. And I mean, that's what, you know, I enjoy helping people. Like I know what it feels like to be like at what feels like the end of your rope. I totally understand that. It sucks. And I had people that I knew that I had asked that said no, that were really close to me. And I mean, it sucks, but it's really up to you, right? Like, I mean,
Right.
it's up to you. And so now if I've got any ability to help somebody, if I have any way to be able to do it, whether it's monetarily, spending time, helping with ideas, helping to talk through something like, you know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes on the phone can literally change somebody's life.
It can.
And I've got people that have done that for me that are available to me, you know, I mean, it's my job. That's what helps me stay sober is helping people.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
just with sobriety, but like literally service. Getting
Mm.
up out of my chair to help somebody do something, taking some kind of an action, getting on a phone call, like that helps me stay sober.
Right.
Um,
And we
and
both
uh,
talked about that too, that we both are substance free. I'm coming up on 500 days
yeah, that's awesome, dude.
because I've
And
changed the environment. I've changed the mindset. I've changed the expectation of myself. I'm trying to do everything I can to present a positive influence out to the world, and started making myself more vulnerable and attacking these weaknesses, and it's a lot.
and that's so important, but the other part of it though, like when you did ask for that, when you did make the ask, and we were talking about that earlier, it's required.
Right.
Like you need to, like, let me make a deal with you,
Right.
help me to make a deal with you, because if you don't ask, you're still where you were before, right? Like,
Right.
and I don't know what it is. I mean, I ask all the time. I had somebody, they were like, "Oh, JD, so he's a hard salesman. He's always trying to sell. He's always pushing. He's pushy, all that kind of stuff." I mean, I've got responsibilities, and I believe that I'm offering you something that's going to help you. You asked me for the help.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, you believe in it.
I'm sitting here, taking orders. What do you want? What do you need?
Right.
And I think that we sometimes hear no, but at least that's some kind of response. Okay, how can I shape this up? How can I bring more value and put it at the right price to where somebody they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, definitely.
Right. Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
I love it.
um, I think it's especially in the service business, I guess is what I'm talking about.
Right. No, I totally agree. Is that you want to serve. The more people you can serve, the better off everyone is. And
Hmm.
so it's the name of the game. Rock and roll, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate you digging deep with me, and we'll do it
Oh
again
yeah,
soon.
anytime, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Rock on.